If you haven't had an opportunity to watch episode 7 of Marvel's Daredevil, stop listening now, major spoilers, here we go. An important figure from Murdock's past reemerges, seeking his help to battle a new enemy threatening Hell's Kitchen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start the slow clap, because this was a 10 out of 10 star episode. It was absolutely insane. I loved everything about it. If you are a fan of Kill Bill, you kind of felt like that's who should have been cast as Stick. I'm pretty sure if he was alive, that's probably who they would have gotten. But we get another guy. I got to find out what his name is, but he's been in several movies, man. You'll recognize him immediately. He's a blind man, comes from Murdock's past. He knew, his father, and he's been training Murdock since he was a little kid, and then he disappeared, and he's been gone for 20 years, and now he's come back because there's been this new threat. There's this thing called Dark Sky or Black Sky, something like that, and it's a small child, from what we understand now, and or an organization, and there was this young kid, man, that looked like something out of the Golden Child. That's what it reminded me of. He actually arrived inside of this crate. Almost like something off of The Strain, or one of our other TV shows, sci-fi TV shows, maybe like Helix, or probably like 12 Monkeys. There you go. Okay. So they actually have this mission where Murdock is recruited by Stick, and then at the last minute, Daredevil turns against Stick because he's about to kill this little kid. He can hear his heartbeat, and his heartbeat is different than everybody else's. It's kind of cool, man, because Daredevil has this code right now of ethics, of no killing and stuff like that. And hopefully we can get away from that, and then maybe Marvel can turn it to a little bit more adult content and keep it continuing on this really grounded, dark approach. I want to see more violence, man, and more death. For some reason, it seems as if Marvel has gotten around the whole entire notion of people have been dying on screen or getting injured on screen, but they haven't been killed yet. There's only been one person that has killed themselves, I think, with the guy that lunged his head forward in like episode 5 or 4 or something like that. And he died on camera, but it wasn't at any fault of Daredevil's. Any victim of Daredevil has either been knocked unconscious, put into a coma, or they're still breathing, man. This episode, we get to see Ben, Karen, and Foggy. They're starting to work together to try to put the pieces of the puzzle of what Fisk in his organization is. How does Daredevil and Fisk, how do they differ? Who is going to be the Kingpin? Who's going to be the Joker? Are they on the same teams, etc.? That's kind of cool to see. What was kind of dope, man, is that you get to finally understand and find out where Murdock learned how to fight. Because that was my whole thing, too. I was like, man, when are they going to show this? And they actually did it from perfect time, because every time I have a question for the series, the next episode answers it. I don't know how they did this. I don't know if they did it on purpose. And I mean, I love it because they're going how my mind works. Once I get done watching an episode, I always have all these questions before each episode, but then they always answer them, either on that episode or right following the next episode. So it's been perfect, man. Stick is trying to actually, let Daredevil know that, you have to eventually get to this point where you're going to have to kill somebody. So get used to it. Quit all your crybaby crap, and let's start slitting throats. They end up having this huge fight, man. One of the dopest fight scenes in the series so far, because you have Murdock, who is skilled, and then you have Stick, who is skilled, and it's kind of cool to see how they're able to counter each other and get the best of each other. Is really cool. At the end of the episode, man, someone appears, and I don't know if I want to spoil this one, because I think for this one I'm going to actually leave this one blank. Someone at the end of the episode is introduced. Stick walks into this black room where there's this incense that is being lit inside of a bowl. It could be soup. I mean, who the hell knows, because we don't know anything. There's a guy sitting, I don't know, like martial arts, Indian style, and he has like whip marks on his back, long hair flowing. Stick informs him that the Black Sky or Sky Black or whatever the hell it's called is no longer a threat. And then he says, is Murdock on board? And he says, I have no idea. I have no clue. That's going to be the end game. And this episode was called Shadows in the Glass. I'm pretty sure that you guys are already picking up on that. It's called Shadows in the Glass. I shouldn't have to tell you anything more. If you're a Daredevil fan, you understand everything that's going on. I loved it, man, because I was almost like our first post-credit, end-credit scene, And what I love about it is that for Netflix, as soon as you get done watching an episode, like that little box pops up and you have 2 boxes and it goes to the next video within 5 to 6 seconds or something like that, so you can binge watch. And I was afraid, okay, if they're going to do any sort of mid or post-credit scene, you're going to have to work around this whole Netflix, the way that it's set up and designed. And they figured that out, man. So that was perfect. This episode, man, was cool, man. I enjoyed it. There was a couple of parts I was like, oh, what the hell? But it made up for it at the end, man. So we can give it a perfect score. We're out here, guys. Thanks again for listening and watching all that good stuff. If you do think that you know who that guy is at the end, Shadows in the Glass, we're going to, let you guys comment, man. And we'll be back, man, with episode 8. And we'll be out of here, man.